Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 517 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Today is a special episode because I got to interview my son, Sutton. Sutton just graduated from Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri in May and finished his 4 years of college baseball for the Columbia College Cougars. Today you will hear about Sutton's journey to Columbia and his ups and downs in his 4 years of college. This episode is a little longer than normal, but you get a good look into a fresh recruiting and college journey. With that, let's hear from my guest today, Sutton Hanks. Well, Sutton, welcome to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast.
Nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Basically, everybody in our audience has kind of heard about you and Parker, so I thought it'd be a good time to actually do an interview with you since you had just graduated from college and done your 4 years of college baseball. So tell us about your last 4 years in college and also about college baseball.
I mean, my last 4 years of college were great. I couldn't have asked for like a better experience really anywhere. The guys that you get to know, the coaches, the games, the teacher, like professors and everything, those are connections that like I probably wouldn't have been able to get anywhere else. I mean, it was overall just an amazing experience.
Well, tell us a little bit about Columbia College, kind of where it is and what the setting of Columbia College is kind of like.
Yeah. So Columbia College, it's a smaller campus and right next to downtown Columbia in Missouri. It's really like a close-knit campus. I mean, my first 2 years living in the dorms, I'd walk downstairs to my classes. I mean, it's the community that they built is great. Being right next to like a bigger college in Mizzou really has its benefits because, yeah, I mean, you're basically getting all the benefits of being a Mizzou student, but you're not having to deal with the long walking times to class and the bigger campus and everything like that.
So did you ever go to class in your pajamas?
Well, I wouldn't say my pajamas considering I don't sleep with a shirt. So,
and this is about
shorts.
Recruiting. So tell us, when did you realize you wanted to play college baseball?
I'd say like when I realized I wanted to and had a chance to play college baseball was around the beginning of high school because I still liked basketball. I think going into high school a little bit more, but I realized like after that baseball and basketball both started, I realized that I liked baseball more and I was just better overall at baseball and I had more fun playing that game. So I think I would say around like the start of high school.
When do you think you started thinking about actually contacting colleges and seeing yourself on a college baseball team?
I'd say after sophomore year of high school with my experience with the Midwest Nationals really something that I could compete at the higher levels and I could be contributing piece to a college baseball team.
Because you played with a lot of guys that went on and played college. Matter of fact, one of them just finished up at Arkansas, not too bad of a gig.
Played with 2 people that were in the college national tournament.
Who else was it besides Zach?
Kale.
Oh yeah, Kale down in Alabama. That's
Yep.
Awesome. So walk us through like when you started doing some campus visits and some showcases. What kind of happened on those campus visits and showcases that kind of maybe helped you go on to make a decision of where you're going to college, and how some of the coaches maybe talk to you during those campus visits and showcases.
Yeah. For the campus visits, we obviously didn't do that until like a little later because we were a little behind on the recruiting because I drug my feet a little bit. But I feel like I felt like everywhere we visited, both Benedictine and Columbia College were both really inviting and nice campuses, but the impression that Boomer and Coach Munns gave to me were that we were able to be free and we they really cared a lot about you as an individual and your growth. Along with that, I felt like Columbia itself was just a better town and like would have been a great experience for me. And with the showcases, I felt like, I mean, my speed was the main contributing factor to me being recruited and just seeing my times compared to all the other people around me and like what I was able to do just showed me that I had the ability to be a piece somewhere with my speed, whether it was like speed, defense, playing small ball, or anything like that.
Well, and you kind of mentioned kind of had a late jump on recruiting. You basically lost your sophomore year in high school to COVID. Luckily, you were able to play in Missouri and the surrounding areas, surrounding states, some baseball with a high level team, but still coaches weren't there. So really, it did push
Mhm.
you to kind of get recruited later or actually get in front of coaches.
Yeah, I definitely think COVID was a big, I guess, like harming factor. I because that was a whole year of like a high school baseball I didn't get to play, and then going in next season with a new coach at the high school level was like a challenge in of itself. So
What were some of the other factors that led you to go to Columbia College? You said the coaches kind of made you feel that you fit in and kind of helped you feel like you were going to be free to do what you wanted to do. But what were some of the other factors that of going to Columbia College?
I mean, if you looking at we looked at their track record, and obviously they had been, well, they hadn't been around for like as long as other programs. They had proven that they were a strong program that knew how to win. And I mean, I obviously I knew going there that I wasn't going to start freshman year because the team that they had, but they had some dudes who were definitely developed and ended up being all conference, some all NAIA level players. And I mean, along with that, being closer to home at Columbia with friends and my now fiance with me, I felt like that was the best call.
And you actually had a relative up there. My uncle was up there.
Hmm.
You got to get to know Uncle Dale pretty good right there at the very first of your college career, didn't you?
Oh yeah, no, whole 10 minutes into practice made a strong impression.
So your coaches, because you broke your collarbone there the first hour and a half of your fall practice, your coaches actually hadn't seen you play very much until your spring season started in January of your freshman year.
Yeah, I remember one of our assistant coaches, Coach Bishop, made a joke to me that we were in a spring practice. He's like, wow, that's the first time I think I've ever seen you swing. I
You didn't
mean, we
even get in a
were,
bat in fall practice, did you?
no, I didn't even get to hit BP.
Tell us about some of the good and bad events that you experienced at Columbia, some of the ups and the downs.
Obviously, breaking my collarbone was a huge hit because I mean, it took good developmental time away from me in the fall. And I felt like, especially my freshman year, I didn't really get to know all the guys and wasn't as close with them other than like the people that were living in the dorms with me until later in the season. Until like I felt like it really clicked around like the conference tournament time. But other than that, like my senior year, getting hurt, tearing my labrum was a huge hit because I felt like I had the ability to play and I wanted to contribute to the team. But obviously, that is I wasn't able to as much as I wanted to.
So those were a couple of the injuries were no fun. What were some of the good events that you experienced at Columbia?
I mean, getting to know everyone, like having people around me that I'm obviously going to be friends with for the rest of my life, getting to play with like great players like Nico and Rin, Mac, Indy, just really getting to know like all of those guys has been awesome. I think actually being able to contribute in the years that I was able to on the base pass was, I mean, I felt like I was a part of something bigger.
And you got to score a couple winning runs here and there through the years, which was kind of fun. Sometimes you had to run real fast, and other times you kind of got to jog around the bases because you had some big home run hitters behind you.
My favorite thing was being on base when Mac was up because there was a 50% chance I got to just walk around the bases.
Well, and then other times, whenever Big Mac was up, you went from first to home or first to third a few times too, because if it
Yeah.
didn't go out of the park, he was hitting it in the gaps.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I got my conditioning in for sure.
So you played at the NAIA level. How would you rate the level of baseball at the NAIA level?
I'd say for the NAIA level, there's somewhat of a gap between the good teams and the bad teams because I feel like the upper NAIA level teams can compete with lower, like mid to lower D1 level teams. Like Louisiana Shreveport obviously had a great team and went undefeated. I felt like they could have competed with some Division One level teams, but then there's other teams that were just, I mean, they just kind of had a baseball team. It felt
I
like,
always kind of say there's some teams I could have pitched for.
yeah. I mean, I could have been a day one starter at some schools.
But I think the overall, when you played good teams, they were very good. They had good pitching, good catching. I was kind of surprised with the catching throughout
Mhm.
the 4 years that they did a good job blocking balls, throwing the baseball. Your team was very, very good. Obviously, with I think you had like 35 to 40 wins every year. You had some players that went on to play Division One, Division Two. You've actually got,
Mhm.
I think one of the players was on an Australian national team, and then another
Mhm.
player plays for one of the Savannah Banana teams, the Texas something or
Yeah.
others,
The Texas Tailgaters.
Texas Tailgaters. So you did play with very, very good players, and like I said, a lot of your outfielders that you were competing against on a daily basis end up being all conference, all American, and even moved on to upper levels.
Yeah. Obviously, those guys for my first 3 years, it was nice, like looking up to them and like learning from them. And I felt like that was what sucks about my senior year is like that was going to be the culmination of all that. But unfortunately, I had to miss it.
Well, and then what are some things that surprised you about college, both on and off the field?
The college, I mean, it's a lot different than the high school level because at high school, you have guys who don't want to be there and then guys who really want to be there. And you have the good players and the bad players. And at a high school level, the coaches are more focused on making sure everyone's a team. Not that that's a bad thing, but like making sure that everyone is equally put into a situation, whether they like it or not, for them to succeed. But in the college level, they really just let you use your talent and do what you do best because you want to be there. There's a reason that you reached out to try to get recruited, and you everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. So the good players know it at that point. So the coaches don't really need to focus on that, and instead need to are focused more on winning and letting you shine.
What were some of the things maybe on campus or in the classroom that kind of surprised you?
I mean, I know it's a lot of different for like bigger schools, but I mean, the community and the classroom was amazing. Like getting to know the professors on a more personal level in the smaller classrooms. And I mean, I'd have the same people in my classes from freshman year to senior year. It was nice knowing, like getting to know all these people and having the connections after school because you really do get to know the professors.
Well, and Columbia College has about, I think it's like 1,800 students on campus. Now they have a big footprint nationwide and kind of worldwide, even with satellite campuses. But on campus, you had like 1,800. A majority of them were athletes, weren't they?
Yeah, I'd say it was the minority was being non-ath like not being a non-athlete, and I mean I didn't really those people or those students were more in different fields in business, so I didn't really interact with them all that much.
Paint a picture because Columbia College and the NAI level can not be really maybe what a student athlete envisions of going and playing in front of a couple thousand people at a nice stadium. Kind of tell people what your situation was like with the baseball team as far as like your meetings, your locker room, and your practice field, and where you actually played.
I don't know if I'd say we played at two fields because we didn't really play at Atkins all that much, but Battle is a great facility. The high school coaches were great for letting us use it. I honestly loved the field and the dugouts and everything. I felt comfortable there. We obviously had we had a nice weight room. We ended up being able to use big hitters, which is a nice indoor facility, but we didn't really have like the locker room and all these like super nice amenities that some other colleges get, but no one really cared because I mean we didn't need that stuff to win.
So you had very good facilities. You had a very good high school field that was off campus, and then you had an indoor hitting
Hmm.
facility that was off campus. And you basically just got in your cars and drove over there, and then that's where you guys did your baseball, right?
Yeah,
Give us some advice on what you give to a potential student athlete about getting recruited that maybe you learned or that maybe we didn't do.
I'd say that a lot of people struggle with is they have an ego about their wanting to go to a school like they want to go D1, they want to be the star, and they want to immediately go in and start and make an impact. But I don't think that's a realistic case for most people. I'd say it's pretty rare to be a someone that comes in freshman year and plays in every game and gets in that bat every day and hits 30 home runs. Like that just doesn't happen. So, I mean, knowing your level and keeping yourself honest so that you'd be willing to play at a Division 2, Division 3 NAIA level. I mean, I think that's a great thing that some people need to learn.
You had some players that could have gone on and played at an upper level or got recruited to an upper level, but they found their home at the NAI level. You know, I always said you can probably set records at some levels or you can set the bench at some levels, and
Yeah.
both of them are the right choice if you know what you're gonna do going in. So you picked the right choice, I think. For you, we talked about it a lot. That level of play was something that you could have you did for 4 years, and you improved as a baseball player. What I could see from the stands, you improved as a baseball player and had a great 4 years of both winning and just being on a good team.
Yeah.
One of the things that I kind of remember during your recruiting was us going to talk to your club coaches, and we had a list of schools, and Columbia wasn't even on our list, and that's how we got familiar with Columbia. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So going and talking to your coaches, and you had the right levels kind of picked out because I think
Hmm.
on your list you had some NAIA schools, you had a couple Division 2 schools picked out. So you realized your level pretty early, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, as a right-handed not hitter with not a lot of power, it's you're most likely not gonna go and be a starting level guy at a D1 school. So I kind of like knew my ability and knew like what Division 1 schools looked for.
So what is a piece of advice that you would give to a student athlete, no matter what sport, but obviously we know more about baseball, to get prepared to actually get on a field and play as they transition from high school to college?
Just do what they need you to do. If they want you to, obviously this is baseball, if they want you to pinch run your freshman year, then pinch run, show that you can do that. And I mean, the more you succeed and the better you do at that, the more likely you are to get on that field and play. I mean, it's probably the same thing with like basketball. If coach asks you to go out there for 4 minutes a night and hit a three, then get out there and hit a three. We'll start working on that in your own time. So, I mean, I just do what you can to show that you are deserve to be at that level.
Was there anything else that you want to, any other advice you want to give to our Recruit Me and the Athletic Scholarship Podcast listeners?
Uh, Overall, just it should be a fun experience going to college and playing sports. If you're not having fun doing it, then I mean, what's the point?
And it's not fun every day, right?
No,
No.
obviously not. But if overall the experience is more fun than it is not, then I'd say it's a win.
Do you remember more about games or do you remember more about bus rides and dinners and stuff like that?
I'd say a little bit of both, considering I was on the bench for most of them, so I was able to goof off. And I mean, I obviously like you'd have your group of people that you'd sit by on the bus and at games, and you'd hope to get roomed with, and you'd have fun doing that. I mean, one of my best experiences at Columbia College was junior year in Tennessee during rain delay after rain delay, just sitting in the hotel playing video games with my friends. So, I mean, it's whatever you make it. If you want to stay laser focused during games, and then that's what you can do. But I prefer to have fun and enjoy myself during that and off the field.
What did you call it? There was a game here this year where a guy hit a grand slam, and I looked over, and you did not move off the bench to go congratulate him. Why did you do that, and what's that called?
So that was my fourth collegiate perfect sit. I parked my ass on the bench in one spot and didn't move the whole game.
So as a dad, I was proud because I knew exactly what you were doing.
Hey, I think that was those perfect two of the perfect sits in my career were big contributing factors to us winning a conference title my freshman year.
Well, Sutton, we had a great time over the 4 years, both watching the games and going and hanging out with you before and after games. So we appreciate all the work that you put into, and appreciate you coming on the interview, and maybe we'll try to have you back after you get out in the working world and see how baseball and how college impact you as you start your professional career.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you to Sutton for all his time and information. He has a little extra time right now because he had shoulder surgery on May 19th, and he is just getting out of his sling and starting his rehab. Like I said in the interview, Lori and I are very proud of Sutton's hard work on the baseball field and in the classroom. He graduated in 4 years and was on the dean's list multiple times and was academic all-conference 3 of his 4 years. Remember to visit the recruit-me.com website and listen to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast past episodes. Those episodes will help you on your recruiting journey. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.